Good evening, everyone. It's August the 12th, 2024, and I just wanted to say I'm still having a little trouble with my voice here. I'm still getting over this cold, but I'm much better now. But I just wanted to continue on with my a little bit more on the last video that I put up, and I think it's very important that we do some things today and talk about a little bit more about this. Because unfortunately a lot of things don't go to be talked about in depth enough, but I wanted just to bring a little bit more forward on this. And I wanted to start with after I posted the video on a comment that came back to me as well. And the comment was, "Thank you for all your contribution through the years. Lots of healing needs to happen." And my response was, yes, we all have been through some minor trauma. Everyone needs to heal differently, but we all need to understand this and help to find the proper support that is needed and advocate that everyone gets that proper support. So that was my response to the party who sent that in to me. And I want to just go on just how traumatic it was for this little boy, Johnny, that I was talking about. I want to start by saying that after the incident was over and I did get back into Ottawa at the time, I also learned from his mother that the little boy that was died in the car there, the baby, he was one of his cousins from Vars, Ontario, that had come in to Ottawa to do some shopping. So this was very, very, very hard on him because he didn't know how to process this. I was still trying to process it myself. And it was a very, very sad situation. I was thankful I was able to take him home and to my place and certainly help him out the best I could. And I knew the importance, as I said, of therapy dogs and that. And even before they became very popular today, I made sure that he had something to cuddle at night, and there was nothing better to cuddle than the dog. And the dog never left his side after I made sure he was asleep and that. And then I also started taking him out, doing things with him on weekends. And the nice thing about it was, years later when I saw him again when he was 21, and having him up from that 5 years old till another few years down the road, that by the time I mentioned in the mentioned that I had actually they'd helped us move into a new home, and by that time I had my first two oldest children, two little boys, and I used to take them to the park and I used to take him to the park. So it was nice that he actually got a chance to help me push them on the swings and play in the sandbox and that. And so when he was 21 years old and I met him, it wasn't just the bad that we talked about. We were able to talk about these good memories that he remembered having. So it was nice to know that I had that kind of effect on someone. And sometimes that's what you need to do to support people, is literally get them away from what they're thinking about that's so horrible and give them a chance to heal by being around other people and doing things that are fun to do. And so I'm really thankful I was able to do that for him. But I know myself, I felt really guilty and upset that I wasn't there. And it wasn't just the fact that if I had been there, what might I have been able to do, and going over and over in my mind, like, what could I have done? Because it was seeing the smoke. When I actually looked out the door, seeing the smoke, since I'd been one of the regular guards on the shopping mall at the time, I would have been known where all the fire extinguishers were. I could have grabbed the grocery store was right there. We could have taken meat cleavers, whatever it was we had to use to try and get into that car to get those children out at the time. Fortunately, as I said, the two older ones managed to get out. But unfortunately, there was that little boy. And then I also felt so guilty for not being there because little Johnny depended on me so much. And I wasn't there for him when he really needed me the most. So it left me with a lot of guilt feelings. And so I understand a lot of the emotions that our first responders go through and why they burn out and they end up with PTSD. I can understand what's going on here. And so I can understand with the homeless and that a lot of them have mental health problems. A lot of them are probably, a lot of them have PTSD like I do. And that's so I really can feel for these people. That's why I really believe in doing what we can to set up programs. And in some cases, we have set up programs in the past and it's been defunded for whatever the reason, and it was working fine. So we really need to look into what was working there. And then the other thing is, well, we'll start a pilot project, or the government says, well, we're going to do another study. Well, it seems to me, I've heard so many studies being done from government to government every time they change, that nothing ever gets started and nothing ever gets done. Well, I'd rather see some kind of a pilot project started, even if it's not perfect, and even if we have to go along and see that we need to do some changes, or maybe it's not going to work at all. But it's better that we try something than have nothing done at all. So I just wanted to brief everyone in a little bit better, just how I was feeling, and it brought back some really sad memories that I had to kind of see through again, work through again, because I know how difficult it was. And from what other people were talking about, they said it was hard to see the firemen and the police officers as well, because they had tears coming down their cheeks. And you can understand that was a child. And it means so much more when a child ends up in that kind of a crisis and you can't do anything for them. So I understand where that's coming from. And then I realize we don't give enough credit for what we have set up today. Back then we had to go to the payphone to pay for, to call for the help, whether it be the fire department had a separate number, the police department had a separate number, the ambulances had a separate number. There wasn't enough police officers. We didn't have the fire stations, police stations all across the city, or the ambulances across the city, and we didn't have one single number, 911, to call for help. So that really made a huge difference. And I still wonder today, had that been in place, would that have made a difference? Because I remember talking to another gentleman about the fire and the car being on fire in the parking lot. And he said, oh yeah, I lived across the apartment building across from the parking lot, and I remember seeing it on fire. And so I asked him, well, did you call the fire department? Oh no, I didn't. I felt somebody else probably called for it. And then I'm thinking, what was the matter with them? Even today on 911, I'm sure the operators would rather have a number of calls coming in for the same thing, just to make sure that we get our emergency services and the proper ones to the situation, and try and get to it immediately or as soon as possible. So it's not that I have a lot more to talk about today. I'm starting to feel better. My voice is still a little bit rough, as you can tell. But everyone, please take care. Have a great day. Make sure you watch your surroundings. And the reason I say watch your surroundings is not only watch your own surroundings, and it's for yourself, for your own protection, but please, when you watch your surroundings, you might see a car on fire or something where someone needs help. And you can call 911 right away. It might be you, might be the one that people are dependent on at that moment to get them help. So we shall talk again soon, and take care, everyone, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.